Well, you're in New York. All the big trading desks are only a few blocks away from us, and they're calibrating recession right now, and that you're going to be cutting rates not once, two, or three times, but four times by next January. How do you process that view versus yours?
Well, you know, we've seen periods where the markets have one view of what's going to happen in the economy and the Fed has another view. And, you know, we certainly take information from that. You know, we see what they're doing and we're saying, okay, that's their view of what's happening. We have our own forecasts. We just put out forecasts at the last FOMC meeting. And if you look at those, we did say that growth this year was going to be very much below trend growth. And so I think we see things a little bit differently in terms of what the appropriate monetary policy is, given where the economy is and where it's going. We certainly are focused on inflation and making sure that inflation gets back down to 2% over time.
Well, is the idea of 4 rate cuts in the next year crazy?
Well, it certainly isn't my policy path. I mean, I think we're going to have to go a little bit higher from where we are, a little bit more, and then hold there for some time in order to make sure that inflation is on that sustainable downward path to 2%. That doesn't mean we're going to continue to raise rates until inflation gets back to 2%. We're going to be sort of calibrating in order to see that inflation is going to move down. And my own forecast is that it will take some time to get inflation back down. But I think we're going to make some appreciable progress this year and then continue to make progress next year and then hit 2% in 2025.
What's your trajectory for inflation? Where can we end the year and how fast would we get there?
Yeah, so I'm about 3 3/4% by the end of this year. Continued progress next year, maybe 2 3/4, and then 2% in 2025. And I think that's a good progress. But you got to remember, we've been at high inflation, well over 2% for quite some time. And that's why it's imperative that we continue to make progress and that we continue on this path. Now, we're going to be judicious about it. We're not going to, throw the baby out with the bathwater, as they say. We're going to make sure that we're making good judgments along the way. But it is crucial that we get inflation back down in a timely way to 2%.